Western Australia looks set to play a key role in the science industry, and I'm here at SciTech for the Space Innovation Network's inaugural meeting to find out more.
West Australia has history going back to the 1960s in the space industry, so we have actually got the biggest space industry in Australia already in terms of radio astronomy, optical astronomy in both the civilian and the military sector. So the future for space here is very exciting. We've already got the skills and expertise in our universities, in industry, and with the European Space Agency, now with NASA. So we've got all the relationships. We've got the Square Kilometre Array coming online, and we've got the Desert Fireball Network. We've got so many different research projects that we are well placed to take the lead in Australia in the space industry.
Yeah, so what I'll be speaking about is at the University of Queensland, I'm part of a group that's called the Centre for Hypersonics, and we've done research on hypersonic flight for many, many years. And we've developed a new type of engine that can replace rockets for launching things to space. And so I'm going to talk about the use of these new engines. They're called scramjets, and what they do, they enable space launch to be reusable, so that when you launch a satellite, you don't just throw your whole rocket system into the ocean. You can actually just fly back to base and then launch another one the following week. And it's just some new technology that we're trying to apply to the space industry.
Well, in the European Space Agency, we have a partnership with all international and several member states, and with Australia we have an ongoing activity since more than 30 years. We are hosting in Australia one of our deep space stations. We have 3 around the world, and the one we are hosting in New Norcia was the first one for us. These deep space stations are critical to communicate with deep space spacecraft around Mars, Moon and beyond. And we want to foster that partnership with the Australian government in the near future by building a second 35-metre antenna in New Norcia.
Well, West Australia has all the elements here. We've already got at least 8 space stations here, civilian and military, and we've got all the researchers here. So we've got all of the elements and the expertise already here to really take advantage of the new developments in space industry here. Well, I think what we're doing here is very important today. It's getting the word out that we already do have significant expertise here in Australia, and it's supporting and encouraging our universities and the programs they support, and again through wonderful institutions like SciTech to spread the word and encourage young West Australians to study STEM, and that they too could have a career in the space industry right here in Perth.
In fact, we have only just very recently completed an event which saw many, many people in SciTech itself, in our premises here. We actually have Innovation Fest coming up shortly, and that's going to be a 4-day high school festival which brings more than 1,000 students here, so that's focusing around innovation. More recently we had the Space Academy, which saw a group of students coming together to work with science and space organisations to really develop those skills in that STEM science space.
Well, my job as a Senator for Western Australia is really to get the word out, to really promote globally, but also in Canberra, who many don't know what we do here in Western Australia. So my role is really to understand what we've got here and then to promote it elsewhere.
Well, the earlier people start learning their craft and learning about the industry that they would like to eventually be involved in, obviously that's going to be better for them and better for the industry. It's critically important that we start training our young people early with regard to the opportunities that are available to them in the STEM space. We are seeing numbers coming out with regard to the analysis around the growth in jobs in the future, and 75% of the jobs that have the fastest growth rates of the future require STEM skills. So by that I mean science, technology, engineering and mathematics skills. So it's vitally important that people understand that they will need these skills early in their education and training if they want to be in those industries of the future. So the earlier the better.
Well, what Innovate Australia are doing here today and launching this new network is very important, because again it's bringing people together to collaborate, to understand what other people are doing and to get the word out and to promote the industry. So I congratulate Innovate Australia for another great initiative.
We have a number of different programs that we run throughout the year. As I mentioned, the Space Academy, that's one of our hallmark events in the space, but we have a range of other things. So we encourage people to have a look at our website, scitech.org.au, and find out what other space-based programs we have available.
This is Michael So reporting for Undercurrent.